Welcome to Class 8 Civics Chapter 10 Law and Social Justice. You may remember the story of a shirt from your Class 7 book. There we saw that a chain of markets links the producer of cotton to the buyer of the shirt in the supermarket. Many of the people, directly or indirectly involved in the production of the shirt, faced exploitation or an unfair situation in the market. The government makes certain laws to protect people from exploitation. These laws try to ensure that the unfair practices are kept at a minimum in the markets. Many laws have their basis in the fundamental rights guaranteed by the Indian Constitution. For instance, the right against exploitation says that no one can be forced to work for low wages or under bondage. Similarly, the Constitution lays down no child below the age of 14 years shall be employed to work in any factory or mines or engaged in any other hazardous employment. How are these laws played out in practice? To what extent do the laws address the concerns of social justice? According to a law on minimum wages, a worker has to be paid not less than the minimum wage by the employer. Private companies, contractors, and business persons normally want to make profit as much as they can. Law on minimum wages is meant to protect workers. There are also laws that protect the interest of producers and consumers in the market. These laws ensure that the relations between these three parties, that is, the worker, consumer, and producer, are governed in a manner that is not exploitative. Let us look at some important laws relating to the protection of these various interests. Minimum Wages Act specifies that wages should not be below a specified minimum. Many workers are denied fair wages by their employers because they badly need work. Workers have no bargaining power and are paid low wages. This law is meant to protect the interest of all workers, particularly farm laborers, construction workers, factory workers, domestic workers, etc. There is also a law requiring that the quality of goods meet certain prescribed standards. For example, electrical appliances have to meet safety standards. Why is it necessary? Consumers might be put to risk by the poor quality of products such as electrical appliances, food, medicines, etc. This law is meant to protect the interest of all consumers. Laws against child labor in workplaces is meant to protect the interest of children. Merely making laws is not enough. The government has to ensure that these laws are implemented. This means that the law must be enforced. Enforcement becomes more important when the law seeks to protect the weak from the strong. For instance, to ensure that every worker gets fair wages, the government has to regularly inspect work sites and punish those who violate the law. By making, enforcing, and upholding laws, the government can control the activities of individuals or private companies so as to ensure social justice. According to the 2001 census, over 12 million children in India aged between 5 and 14 work in various occupations including hazardous ones. In October 2006, the government amended the Child Labour Prevention Act, banning children under 14 years of age from working as domestic servants or as workers in dhabas, restaurants, tea shops, etc. It made employing these children a punishable offense. Anyone found violating the ban must be penalized with a punishment ranging from a jail term of 3 months to 2 years or fine of rupees 10,000 to rupees 20,000. The central government had asked state governments to develop plans to rescue and rehabilitate children who are working as domestic servants. Even today, more than 70% of child domestic workers are under the age of 16. You might have heard of Bhopal gas tragedy. The world's worst industrial tragedy took place in Bhopal some years ago. Union Carbide, an American company, had a factory in the city in which it produced pesticides. At midnight on 2nd December 1984, methyl isocyanate, a highly poisonous gas, started leaking from this Union Carbide plant. Within 3 days, more than 8,000 people were dead, hundreds of thousands were maimed. Most of those exposed to the poison gas came from poor working class families, of which nearly 50,000 people are today too sick to work. Among those who survived, many developed severe respiratory disorders, eye problems, and other disorders. Children developed peculiar abnormalities. What is a worker's worth? Why did Union Carbide, an American company, set up its plant in India? The main reason why foreign companies come to India is for cheap labor. Wages that the companies pay to workers, say in the USA, are far higher than what they have to pay to workers in countries like India. For lower pay, companies can get longer hours of work. Lower working conditions, including lower safety measures, are used as ways of cutting costs. We can have a comparison between Union Carbide's safety system in Bhopal and its other plant in the US. At West Virginia, USA, computerized warning and monitoring systems were in place, whereas the Union Carbide plant in Bhopal relied on manual gauges and the human senses to detect gas leaks. At the West Virginia, emergency evacuation plans were in place but non-existent in Bhopal. Why are there such sharp differences in safety standards across countries? And even after the disaster happened, why was the compensation to the victims so low? In India, one worker can easily replace another. There is so much unemployment that many workers are willing to work in unsafe conditions for a wage. Making use of the workers' poor situations, employers ignore safety in workplaces. Thus, even so many years after the Bhopal gas tragedy, there are regular reports of accidents in construction sites, mines, or factories due to the insensitive attitude of the employers. A worker's worth is the value he or she has in the eyes of an industry where she or he is employed in. Enforcement of safety laws. As the lawmaker and enforcer, the government is supposed to ensure that safety laws are implemented. It is also the duty of the government to ensure that the right to life guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution is not violated. As we can see from the Bhopal gas tragedy, the negligence of the government is the reason for such a hazardous disaster. Government officials refused to recognize the plant as hazardous and allowed it to come up in a populated locality. The government didn't ask Union Carbide to shift to cleaner technology or safer procedures. Government inspectors continued to approve the procedures in the plant even when repeated incidents of leaks from the plant made it obvious to everybody that things were seriously wrong. Worker safety was being disregarded both by the government and by private companies in this case. There is a great need for stronger laws protecting workers' rights and better enforcement of these laws. New laws to protect the environment. In 1984, there were very few laws protecting the environment in India, and there was hardly any enforcement of these laws. The environment was treated as a free entity, and any industry could pollute the air and water without any restrictions. The Bhopal disaster brought the issue of the environment to the forefront. Several thousands of persons who were not associated with the factory in any way were greatly affected because of the poisonous gases leaked from the plant. This made people realize that the existing laws only cover the individual worker and not persons who might be injured due to industrial accidents. In response to this, the Indian government introduced new laws on the environment. The right to life is a fundamental right under Article 21 of the Constitution, and it includes the right to the enjoyment of pollution free water and air for full enjoyment of life. The courts gave a number of judgments upholding the right to a healthy environment as intrinsic to the fundamental right to life. The government is responsible for setting up laws and procedures that can check pollution, clean rivers, and introduce heavy fines for those who pollute. Environment as a public facility. In recent years, while the courts have come out with strong orders on environmental issues, these have sometimes affected people's livelihoods adversely. For instance, the courts directed industries in residential areas in Delhi to close down or shift out of the city. Several of these industries were polluting the neighborhood, and discharge from these industries was polluting the river Yamuna because they had been set up without following the rules. But while the court's actions solved one problem, it created another. Because of the closure of factories, many workers lost their jobs. Others were forced to go to faraway places where these factories had relocated, and the issue of the safety conditions of workers remained unaddressed. Recent research on environmental issues in India has highlighted the fact that the growing concern for the environment among the middle classes is often at the expense of the poor. So, for example, slums need to be cleaned as part of a city's beautification drive, or as in the case above, a polluting factory is moved to the outskirts of the city. And while this awareness of the need for a clean environment is increasing, there is little concern for the safety of the workers themselves. The challenge is to look for solutions where everyone can benefit from a clean environment. One way this can be done is to gradually move to cleaner technologies and processes in factories. The government has to encourage and support factories to do this. It will need to fine those who pollute. This will ensure that the workers' livelihoods are protected and both workers and communities living around the factories enjoy a safe environment. Laws are necessary in many situations, whether this be the market, office, or factory, so as to protect people from unfair practices. Private companies, contractors, business persons, in order to make higher profits, resort to unfair practices such as paying workers low wages, employing children for work, ignoring the conditions of work, ignoring the damage to the environment, etc. A major role of the government is to control the activities of private companies by making, enforcing, and upholding laws so as to prevent unfair practices and ensure social justice. Laws that are weak and poorly enforced can cause serious harm, as the Bhopal gas tragedy showed. Apart from the government, people should also exert pressure so that both private companies and the government act in the interest of society.